All yours.
Okay. So, do you want to start with beat sheet or storyboard? Well, I'm going to open beat sheet because it has like the little idea text in it.
I don't understand.
I mean, everyone's it's cool.
Is it going to open? Okay.
All right, guys, focus.
Okay, so just to summarize this beautiful text here. So we have 3 heroes, and they live in a kind of magical land. It's a fantasy genre. And they're mercenary types who basically travel around looking for odd jobs. And the story begins where they have just taken on a job from a client that they don't really know that well. And their job is to basically go into this mine, take something from it, and bring it to this client. And so they follow the directions, find the mine, go inside, and begin to travel down. And the further they travel down, they begin to realize that it's actually not a mine, it's a castle. It's like ruins of a castle that have been buried for a long, long time. And so as they make their way into this castle, they're exploring it, trying to find what they're looking for, when they get to the throne room. And here in the throne room is where they're attacked by a giant creature that tries to stop them. And so then there's a fight scene between like the trio and this creature. They defeat the creature and continue into the throne room to investigate. And they find a vault, and inside of it is the treasure that the stranger described. And then what they find means, I just don't want to like go into the minutia of the world because it's a lot to explain. It's a lot to explain, but basically what they find is groundbreaking in like the world that they live in. They find basically something that hasn't.
It's basically long lost ancient technology that would probably like break society if it were to get out.
And that's where our story ends, because we're doing an interactive graphic novel. We're writing just basically the first issue, so it kind of ends. Yeah.
So you don't have to have necessarily find everything. You just need to hold the audience attention until that ends.
Right.
Cool. And so when you say it's an interactive novel, are you seeing it in a 2-dimensional kind of graphic novel style?
Yeah.
Animated?
So I'm going to go ahead and open up the storyboard. So basically it would be organized like a comic book.
Except some of the panels would be animated.
Yeah.
And also sound as well.
Yeah.
It's something that you wanted to
sound would be hard.
Not only doing that.
The sound is not actually hard.
Well, no, I mean like designing the sound. That's hard.
I've done it.
I know, but I have no idea.
Yeah, we hadn't thought about that. At the moment, there are just a few particular sounds that we wanted to include. We don't know about voice acting or anything like that.
Yeah, so the story begins where the camera is a close-up on the protagonist. Our trio is traveling to the mine. So for example, this scene right here might be animated where the wagon moves from left to right, or from right to left.
So when it's not animated, how do I move from the first to the second, or from the second to the third?
We think the web page would be like a comic book, so you can see each panel.
Okay.
But then, like maybe one panel is this big. You can click the play button, and it will do the small animation.
Wouldn't you want though when the part that is animated to be able to kind of transition big and take the whole screen? Does that make sense?
We could do it like a modern-ish like webcomic where as you scroll down, the next panel becomes maximized. And
I'm just saying that you can also have, instead of having the static thing with just something happen within one square, you could also think about like, having more transition. There are almost 3 that you're diving in and coming out. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
What's up?
Yeah, like when the wagon stops, the characters can jump down into panel 5, landing on panel 5.
I feel like
And break the fourth wall.
Yes.
I'm
just
just
saying
shatter
that
it.
it would be a lot more interesting if we weren't seeing the same division staying static and just something happening in one spot. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about it. a little
Yeah.
more.
Well, the animated scenes would be reserved for like important moments. Like for example, let's see. I can't map. Let's see.
Oh, this is my sketches. Sorry.
Yeah, they're traveling through the castle. Like these would be a lot of still shots, and like they would be walking across another still shot. They'd be walking across. Like all of those could even be just one big animatic panel.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, yeah. I think I get it.
Let's see. Or like when the monster enters, that would be one big page.
So the monster is some kind of beastie looking thing, like
Yes.
an animal stuff. some
Hmm.
kind.
Probably bigger than that. Too.
And then that was the fight scene.
With the monster.
Yeah, and another interesting feature we're thinking about is like if you click the text, that will enlarge, so
Yeah.
you can read it, or audio will play, or voiceover will play.
I don't think we have time for voiceovers.
Well, like
That's
as a
They're
concept.
easy to do. I can make all the voices for you. With an Italian accent, even. I mean,
Oh man.
better than that.
Yeah, we were planning. Since there's a vault, and one of the like tropes is that the main character has a pendant, and the pendant is actually a key to this vault. And there's gonna be like one of them animated scenes is gonna be this vault, like the tumbler is opening and just doing and revealing what's inside.
Yeah, and part of the story is that she thinks she comes from nowhere, and she somehow has this key to a ruined castle for something that's entirely groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Is the point.
So for this class, what do you plan to deliver?
Let's see. The storyboard for sure, character designs, a more solid plot, probably a script is a little ambitious, but we do need dialogue, and maybe for really key scenes, like short, rough animatics. Yeah.
Maybe a prototype for the one page.
We will. The goal here is that eventually, and you'll see it more now. Now that the stories are kind of going, every class we really should go into lighting and shadows and paintings. So what I also would like all of you guys to have at the end is at least the main characters, illustrated beautifully.
Yeah.
As well as having what you would call matte paintings. So each of you, you will have 4 scenes. One might be the castle, the beginning when they dive in. The other one is when they fight the monster. The other one, you'll have 4 scenes that are like paintings. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were actually doing also the other part that I love motion and interactivity. So I would love to see it all done. But maybe next quarter.
Yeah, we've been doing like character design in parallel, pretty much.
Perfect. Awesome.
They all have names.
Any input, guys? You see anything that could be improved? The only thing that to me would be fun to improve or change is do some more studies on the monsters, so it's not always the typical beast.
I have a very particular design for it. I'm just really bad at drawing and can't draw what I want yet. So I'm working on it. I have a very particular design and like history and reason why it exists and all that. I just haven't.
I don't think you're bad at it. I've seen you drawing. Just go for
I need,
it.
I need to work.
Just
Yeah, I
go,
need to work.
go for it. Have faith.
We
All
also
right.
have heavy insect motifs, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
There's gonna be a lot of moth symbols in the castle.
Bugs.
Yeah.
I love bugs. Yeah. That's why I was thinking
one
about.
of, one of the things we want to do is like just big bugs everywhere.
That's why I was
Or
thinking.
maybe people are small.
Get a monster that doesn't look like a dog like you had.
The monster is drawn like a dog because